Have stopped at S&S Stripping to pick up my motorcycle frame. It is done. We'll see if we can look at some of the projects they have going on while we're here. Corvette body bead blasted with walnut shells. There's photos there. Wow, that's got a really cool paint job on it. It changes colors. They got some projects here. The guy was backing out with his high-low, so I had to stop for a moment. Yeah, another project there. So they get a lot of this kind of stuff. There's always interesting things here when I come here. Yeah, a lot of neat stuff. We get a little better view. Yeah, so they do just about anything you want done here. Here's the frame. Obviously all sandblasted. So next I'm going to take the air hose and blow all the nooks and crannies out really good, you know, where there might be some media, and make sure there's none left anywhere. And then I'm going to wipe the whole frame down with lacquer thinner, and then I'm going to prime it up with the zinc chromate primer. Now you can see all these pits, and that's why I didn't have it powder coated. I'm going to have to put a little filler in the pits to make it look nice, and I'll put that tag back on after it's painted. But for now we'll blow everything out and then prime it out. The frame's ready for primer. I'm just going to prime it right here. I'm going to set my crappy old box fan here to blow out. It's really cold out, so I can't prime outside, but I'll prime this up and then I'll just lift up and prime where I can't, where it's hitting the paper after the, well, maybe I'll just prime the underside first and let it dry and then flip it this way and prime the rest. I think that'll be better. But my fan that I've used for my garbage pick fan that I've used for the past 20 years or so for venting paint doesn't want to turn. I took the thing apart and put some oil. I got it turning now, but it's pretty stiff. And this was up in the attic of the garage where it was really cold too, so that might be another reason why it's stiff. But I just put some oil on that bearing. I don't see an oiler on the motor, so I'm just putting a little oil around the bearing and letting it soak down in. And in the meantime, maybe I'll clean the blade off. Well, the blade is permanently got paint stuck to it, and the motor is freeing up a little bit, but it's still pretty stiff. But once we get this thing cooking, I think it'll work fine. I'll put some oil on the other side after this soaks in a little bit. Yeah, this is an ancient can of 3-in-1 oil. That's actually raised that little circle there on the can. Pretty neat. Old can. I picked this up in an estate sale. It's probably up to there with oil. And you can see what it cost when it was new. And I think the garbage picked fan has seen its better days, so I turn it on. It tries to go. Maybe if I leave it on a little bit, it'll start going. Switch says high, low, medium, high, and it's just not really running that hard. I'm going to leave it on for a minute or so and see if it picks up and starts going, because this fan's already ruined. There's no point in ruining another one to blow primer out. Yeah, running it down to low, it almost comes to a stop. Well, after about 4 or 5 minutes, it's actually up and running to speed. I'll let that dry 24 hours and then I'll do the primer on the front of, or the filler And I'll just do that with my finger. And it's basically just from here to there that has pits in it. So that'll be the only, and it's just little pits, nothing major. And there's a little burr here, and I'll sand that out, and I'll put the races back in it, obviously, after I paint it. Tubing is kind of a pain to spray because you gotta, you know, work your whatever you're spraying with all the way around to make sure you get everything, and up in here and up in here you gotta get material, so it's just kind of a difficult item to paint. I am going to take some mechanics wire and make a loop that'll go through there and through one of those holes back there to the balance is somewhat decent from, and hang it from my cherry picker so I can roll it inside and out to spray it between coats. It's just too cold out to paint outside, but I'll wait, and maybe next week. I think they're talking about some warmer days, so hopefully by next week when we get that break in the weather, it'll be ready for paint to where all I need to do, I'll have it hanging ready to spray. We get a nice day, I'll just roll it out, spray it, roll it back in between coats. I'll crank the heat up in here to about 72 or 3 and make sure the frame's nice and warm before I roll it out and spray it, and then bring it right back into the heat, let it flash, and then take it out and shoot it again. Yeah, that's going to be fun getting that out of there. All this stuff here. Maybe I can just move some of that stuff there and just drag it out that way. Lovely. And if anyone needs a snowblower, I do have this on Craigslist. First $300 takes it. Like to get it out of the garage, taking up space. So I did a video on rebuilding it. I'll put a link in the description. So 7-horse Tecumseh. It runs good, drive, everything works. This assembly is new because that would just drop down to idle. Now it's almost out of gas. There's just a film of gas down in there. I just haven't, I don't know if that needs a full choke or not. I haven't been running it, so I haven't put gas in it. Hit the like button if you enjoyed my video. If you enjoy my channel, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.